Hey, what's up YouTube? On the last video when I got the wheels installed, I was showing you guys this on the way out. Yeah, I was saying that this was a hint for the next mod. So here's the next mod. I wanted to share it with you. They're DNA headers, directly from DNA. Very inexpensive, and these specific ones are model number HZS HC01DX, and they're stainless steel 4:1 header for 01 to 05 Civic DXLX 1.7 liter AM2, basically non-vtec. So before I open the box and show you what's inside, I wanted to talk a little bit about some of the things you're going to need if you guys want to do this mod on your car, some of the things to prep with to set yourself up for a successful install. So one thing is the header wrap. So we got that, it's right here. Got some stainless steel zip ties just to attach the header wrap to the header with, and we'll do that in this video too. I'll unbox the header and we'll go ahead and wrap it. I'll show you guys the easy way to do it. I went ahead and bought this thing. There's two in the box. It's called a non-fouler. Basically it's a spark plug non-fouler, part number 42009 from O'Reilly's. This is a Dorman part number. I went ahead and removed my O2 sensor from the car just for this video, and the idea is to fit that in there, screw it in, and then screw this on here, and screw this whole thing into the downstream port to stabilize the reading, because if with the header you're gonna have more flow to this O2 sensor, and you may cause a check engine light. So this helps that. If this doesn't work, you can solder in a resistor and a capacitor. Cut one, put a resistor, and then you put a capacitor. So you basically make a low pass filter for it, which what it does is it slows down the time constant and it smooths out the voltage output from this thing. So it makes the computer think everything's fine and dandy, you know, you don't throw a check engine light. Another thing I got was, again, this is from O'Reilly's as well, just new exhaust bolts with the springs. You want that. Labels are pretty bad. This is like 18317-1 or FMK 491, ES 491, item number 317. There's a million parts on here, so hopefully this helps. That's that. Another thing I got was a Felpro gasket, and part number MS96447, and that is to replace the cheap gasket that I heard these headers come with, so, or this header comes with. And that's about it. Oh yeah, to remove an O2 sensor, this is the easiest tool to use. Just takes a regular 3/8 ratchet, and the part number for that is up here, W84008. So anyway, let's go ahead and open these headers. I'm gonna put some gloves on because they're stainless steel, and like I'm not trying to have fingerprints all over them. Even though I'm gonna wrap them still in case I ever sell it or whatever. I want them to look nice when they go through a few heat cycles. And if you put your oils from your dirty fingers on them, ain't gonna be as nice. We'll open it kind of a little bit backwards because my shipping label's on the other side now. I want you guys to see it. Come to my house and take my headers away from me before I install them. And honestly, from what I've seen in pictures, the build quality on these and the way they look better than the DC headers. And those things are like $400. And I mean, for how little of the gains you're gonna get out of these things, if any. I'm only doing this because my manifold's cracked, and I don't like a giant cast iron manifold / cat in between the radiator and the motor. Just, to me, it makes no sense or no difference. It comes with these two bolts, so instead of like these two, like I said, I went ahead and got these because you really want springs there. You don't want you know, just solid bolts, because you're gonna end up snapping something. Ask me how I know. My old Civic, found out the hard way. Had a really nasty exhaust leak on the way to work one day when these bolts snapped. Oh, the header just can't wait to come out of the box. Anyway, so here's the gasket. It doesn't feel as cheap as some people claim it to be. Honestly, it's actually seems pretty decent quality to me. I don't know. And then you also get this, excuse me, this lower gasket. So, all right. So what I'm gonna do is take this sucker out. Way wider than that factory crazy cast iron manifold. And so far the build quality seems really nice too. So the welds are all nice and clean, there's no cracks. The finish looks nice. A little scratch right there. Oh, that's not a scratch, it's just dirt. Comes right off. Dude, I'm really impressed with these things for like 50 bucks. Or 50 something bucks that they sell them for. I don't know, that seems pretty straight to me. I know some people are complaining about this face wasn't straight. All the tubes are welded perfect. They're all nice and centered. Wow. These are much nicer than the DC headers I used to have for my Civic. These are freaking rad. I can't wait to wrap these. So the way we're gonna wrap them is we're gonna wrap this guy, boom. We're gonna wrap from here to here. Then we're gonna wrap from here to here. Then we're gonna wrap from here to here. And then we're gonna wrap from here all the way through the collector. And then you continue, so like you wrap around the collector and then you'll continue wrapping this last one in the same path. So that's how you're supposed to do it. Yeah, so right there, man, there's the header. Looks pretty cool. Let's test fit these O2 sensor bunks. Yep, screws right in. This guy is just directly, so the upper O2 sensor will directly spin into that, and then the lower O2 sensor will have to go through these two guys. Okay. Now, if I do end up throwing a check engine light, what we'll end up doing is we'll build the RC filter, or the low pass filter, using a resistor and a capacitor. That's why I called it the RC filter. And that'll definitely take care of the issue. And I am planning on putting a cat in. I'm going to get a high flow cat and weld it in line. But I did want to do this since I live in a smog exempt area. I could legally, you know, run an open header or whatever I want. So I just, for experimental purposes, I wanted to see if I can run this without causing a check engine light and just see how the vehicle runs. And then we're going to go ahead and add a cat, a high flow MagnaFlow cat, in line in the downpipe, and we're going to see what that does. And at that point, I'll remove these two things. Oops. And the bottom O2 sensor will get extended and get plugged directly into the cat. So that's the plan. Anyway, this thing's super cool looking. I really like it. This thing's amazing. Yeah, you couldn't make this for 50 bucks if you tried. Just in metal alone and all the bends, and I mean, from what I hear, these things fit really well. So anyway, let's go ahead and wrap this. Stay tuned, guys. So this is it. I did one. You start from the collector, you work your way out towards the cylinders, and then you put a metal zip tie at the end. So that's it. So let's go ahead and do the other two, and then the last one, like I said, I'm going to do all the way from here all the way to the front. So this is a regular non-fouler. You can see it's got a little tiny hole. So the problem is with this one, the sensor can't fit in here because this part of the sensor is bigger. So what you have to do is you have to take a 1/2 inch drill bit and bore it out to 1/2 inch. Then what you do is there's a few videos of this online if you guys want to check another video that explains it better maybe. Put this in like that. Now this whole thing you put into the header. So what it does is it allows less exhaust fumes to directly get to the O2 sensor. as you see, this one's like that. It's flush with it, and on the inside, if it even goes in there, it's not going to get as much of a flow as it would just being directly in the main downpipe. So this we're going to screw into the header as a secondary, or the downstream O2, a couple of names for it. And I have a few more wraps to go around the header. I got a really bad allergic reaction to it last night, so I'm gonna do it outside today with a mask and goggles and all that good stuff. I totally forgot that there's fiberglass in it, and I started like not feeling very well. So alright, it's the next day here. We got the header all wrapped. As you can see, all the runners are wrapped. We got the stock header out. It's kind of a nightmare with that bracket. Here's what it looks like with it out. Alright, so now we're going to install the O2 sensor and hope everything fits. There she is, all ready to go. And the sensor is installed. We were only able to fit one bung, not two, or one extension or whatever, but hey, that's still gonna do more than nothing. Alright, well the header is in. We finished installing it. The O2 sensors are in, the bolts are in. One spark plug non-fouler fits, so it's wrapped. That's it.
Well, that's what she sounds like. Let me rev it.
Yeah, the insulation is smoky.
Sounds alright.